So your whole fix to it is bring it home to somewhere
No
that it will
man
personally
want to
affect
know he penis now weekend, brother. In no form or fashion.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Christoph, with 2 H's, and we're here yet again for another episode of Kaption That. And this week, we have a different type of guest with us. We have a national athlete in the name of Sheldon Mason.
Hello.
Hi, Sheldon. Welcome to Kaption That.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, for those of you who wouldn't know, like, there's like Morel Dog, like, you know. Like I'm a friend from Friendland.
Yeah, that's why I big him up as a national athlete. I barely run for Trinidad, dog. I try.
You understand? Well,
but I mean,
you know, you run from, run with, run to. You know, you've been running. Right? So, you know what? Let me give you an opportunity then to correct that. Introduce yourself to these people.
You don't introduce my name, Sheldon Mason, with one S and an M.
I see you.
Right? I aspire to represent Trinidad and Tobago in some Olympics, but this year will be my last bout at trying at it because, I mean, I'm 37 now, I'll be 38 next year. Next Olympics, I will be like it's not impossible.
37?
Yeah, it's not impossible, but I think I want to go through all of that. And then I'm a father, so I enjoy fatherhood, and training takes time away from them. So where I may not have aspired to or reach Olympic-wise, hopefully they might do so in whichever sport they choose to represent themselves in, and by large Trinidad and Tobago. And
you're saying whichever sport that they choose to represent themselves in because they had no choice. But
no, they have a choice, but I mean, there are sports that I really don't want them to be part of. However, as a parent, you learn to be supportive of your child's choices.
Yes.
May not be the ones that you would like, but you have to be supportive. If it's not out of the way, like if they're trying to be gold medalists at selling drugs and thing on the corner, no.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, that's a definite no. That's like I'll take you right back to where you come from.
I'm gonna leave you alone today. Right? Yeah. So talk to us. Okay, you say that you're 37, right? Which is like news to me because you're walking around here looking very different from that age. But
well, let's see. You see, youth have a big part to play with fitness.
Right.
And I have been involved in track and field since I was 14 years. But outside of track and field, I really like fitness. So exercise, I was in cadet, so plenty hiking and physical training and all these different things. I did a stint in recruit training in the army. The training with the police, a lot of different things. And I have my own fitness business, which is Mango Tree Fitness. Right, you can find on Instagram and Facebook, Mango Tree Fitness.
Yes, Mango Tree.
Right, and it's something I've been doing for the last 6 years and 8 months.
Okay.
And I really, really enjoy it. I enjoy taking somebody from here and taking them to places that they never thought they could have reached, and by example, setting the example. So I would not be that trainer who comes and give you a workout and I can't do it, or I do not look that which I am selling.
Okay.
There are plenty of people selling something.
False advertising.
Yeah, not false advertising at all.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
You see where I'd be trying to tell you, hey, you need to come and, let me get the body right for
I was waiting for
I'm
it,
not
right?
saying that, listen, I'm not body shaming, but what I'm saying is,
he can't body shame.
You're yet to be your full representation.
I just want to give you credit because you took longer than I thought you would have to make a jab.
Oh my God.
You understand? I need to give you credit because I was like, when is he going to find a way to slip it in? Go ahead, continue. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't be a friend if I didn't.
No, I understand that, but sometimes trainers have this ability to make it seem very well, I get annoyed by certain things, period, right?
Like?
I feel, because my thing is, sometimes you all speak and you sound like you're talking from where your body is now. You understand? Like if all they don't have no sympathy for like what all it would have been in the past or where it could have been.
Well,
Yes,
some of us were born this way. I mean, but others
Wow.
work towards
Wow.
it. So I'm just saying, you have to work with your genetics. I mean, genetically, every race have attributes to them that works for them, right? Scientifically, black people tend to have the better muscle development or more athletically inclined than most other races. However, in recent times, we would have seen where Chinese and whites and Hispanics and people from all different parts of the world doing the same thing that black people could do, scientifically proven. However, it doesn't mean that genetics have a part to play. I believe it just comes down to your sheer will and desire to make yourself into that better person. So if you see that you can carry yourself or push yourself to that point, then do it. Don't make excuses. We always make an excuse for things that we don't want to do. You know what a hater is? Somebody who could do the same thing you doing, but choose not to do it.
Would you consider that to be like your biggest pet peeve with persons and health?
Yeah, they just don't want to do it. But when you doing it, it's like, oh, I don't have the time, and oh, you feel you so nice, and look at your body, I can never. No, you're hating on your own self. If it's important to you, you will make the time.
So what you're trying to say is that those reasons are illegitimate.
Yeah, a lot of excuses are illegitimate. I mean, I am the master excuse. I can give excuse for all kind of things. Because before I used to procrastinate. So I always have a reason as to why I didn't reach where I reached or why I didn't do this. And then when I realized, I did some introspection and realized, hey, the longer you take, the more time you lose. And time is that currency you can spend, but you can't save. You can never get it back. I could lose $100 today and I'll get it back, but the 100 minutes that I lose in this day, I could never get it back. So if I take 100 minutes, which is like what, an hour and what, 40 minutes, I get a good workout in. And it benefits me in the long run because it adds life to me, it adds longevity, it keeps me healthy, it keeps my immune system functioning, it gives me muscle tone, so it's less likely that if I am doing something, I'm not fatigued or get injured as quickly.
Okay.
That's just what I'm saying.
So what would people gain from joining Mango Tree Fitness that they wouldn't get from anywhere else?
Well, obviously, they gain me. Like, but what I'm saying is...
Excuse Nyla Blackman. I just need to plug the scene right here, right? Nyla Blackman, you know, you're a fan favorite for many reasons, right?
Yeah.
But this person, you understand, he has developed a Nyla Blackman workout specifically for anybody who's trying to get the Nyla Blackman body.
Hey, partner.
No, and anybody who's trying to get the Nyla Blackman body.
Listen, people,
goals,
listen.
right?
Nyla Blackman's body is specific to Nyla Blackman. Your body is specific to you. What we will do at Mango Tree Fitness is enhance your specificness. You understand? Though is people like to do that in the, oh gosh, they love to send my DM. This is my body goal. So you send me a girl who is 6 feet tall. You are 5'5". Body goals. Way how?
Why? I don't think they're talking about height. I think they're talking about specific aspects.
Remember, we're talking about everybody have a different muscular build. Look at your build to mine. So imagine if you invest. No. Imagine if you spend. No, Christoph. Right. With 2 H's.
Right.
Imagine if you spend 9 focus months on yourself, exercising 1 hour a day, intense. Your body would look way better than mine. Your brother's shoulders, you have more upper body.
I am feeling as though that's dreams selling.
No, I'm not selling you no dreams. I am not selling you no dreams. You just have to invest the time in your exercise, invest the time in the exercise and eating properly. And you're inside.
1 hour a day for 9 months. Why can't be less than 9 months?
No, that is selling dreams. Anybody who puts up transformation first week, 4 weeks later, brother, it's take 18 months or 24 months to get the ideal body. When you see like Avengers, Thor, it's 3 a day training, eating 6 times a day, meal appropriate. 3 a day, it means that he gets up in the morning by 4. He trains for an hour. Then he goes on set and then will do all the different things. Then he comes back midday trains again. That body didn't happen just so.
So all he doing for the whole day is just training. He ain't got no
Train
job.
and film. His job is as an actor.
No, but my point.
So between sets, between each filming, he would go and exercise.
So my question is, for persons who it is are not actors, who it is have regular 8 to 4s or 9 to 5 jobs, who have families, who have all these different things, do you think that that is a realistic thing for them in this climate with coronavirus? Do you think that that is something that can be done? How is your exercising working out with the current climate?
It never changed. Social distance, you exercise by yourself. Now, I have the experience to know what exercise works best for me. That is why there are trainers all over Trinidad. So much different fitness groups comes out of Trinidad and Tobago now. Everybody is a specialist trainer, right? So all you have to do is find a fit for you. And then if you cannot invest an hour in the afternoon, then just get up half an hour earlier and invest some time in yourself, because time invested in yourself pays long-term dividends. People want the quick reward. So you know what they will do? They will try to hop a plane or a boat and go across in Venezuela and pay for the body, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you have a problem with that. But those things have long-term effects too.
Okay.
Because you're putting your body through something that it was, if you take your time and you invest small, little 20 minutes add up to 30 minutes, 30 minutes add up to 40 minutes, exercise and diet, and you're going within 12 to 24 months. But you see, people want the microwave. They want to put it in 3 minutes later and get it back. It doesn't work that way.
So outside of Sheldon being a national athlete and a comedian, he also wears the hat of a sexual health and reproductive educator.
Sexual and reproductive health educator.
Sexual and reproductive health educator.
Right.
I know him mainly as a peer educator, but
I changed the name. I changed it because when you hit 37, 3 years to 40, when they say peer educator, it's like, oh gosh, I feel so.
That's like a 30-something-year-old person saying,
yeah, I want to ramp with teenage. Yeah.
You understand? That's not your boyfriend.
Yeah.
You understand? That's something else.
Understand?
Okay, so talk to us about that scoop.
Well,
what you do?
I started May 5th, 2005. So this year, May 5th should be 15 or 16 years I've been doing this. Started off in Rapport. Rapport was under Ministry of Health, and then we were moved to the NWR, the RHA. So one in Port of Spain was moved to the Northwest Regional Health Authority. I'm there now, currently on vacation, and for this period of time, I have been dealing with young people and HIV, which go, and when we say young people, those who are young at heart, and teenagers and kindergartens and primary schools, and it doesn't really matter. And we do focuses in the health centers, business places, anywhere we're invited, and we do a lot of HIV prevention workshops, lectures, sex and sexuality, human growth and development. But the main focus is to stop and prevent the spread of HIV.
Okay. So with Corona, persons may argue that, that has taken over every other health issue or complication or challenge a person could express. Do you think that enough is being currently done to highlight HIV and AIDS? Do you think that that is a topic on somebody's mind?
No? I have to be mindful in what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right? Yes, Corona has come and literally topped the charts. So it's the #1 Billboard song right now. Corona, Corona, Corona. And then they told us that if you have any other viruses or diseases on top of Corona, then the risk of you dying is significantly higher.
Right.
So obviously, yes, Corona is a big man himself. However, in Trinidad and Tobago, within all the regional health authorities, none of the services was stopped. So HIV testing was not stopped. STI testing was not stopped. Screening for diabetes and hypertension, chronic disease, antenatal clinic. All they did was change the way the service was offered. Right? But Corona is such a big thing that everybody just want to wear the face mask, sanitize, wear the gloves, make sure you ain't come in their space coughing, sneezing and whatever. But they still want to enjoy the benefits of what we used to do in 2019, which is meet people vicariously and engage in conversations on social media and still go for, because remember, the main part of having a boyfriend or girlfriend relationship or any kind of relationships to me, in my mind, the end thereof is sex, especially between male and female. And now we live in a more all-inclusive world. So now we have men interested in men, women interested in women, some interested in both, some don't know where they're going, so they consider themselves sexually fluid, so it's whoever they're attracted to. But the main focus outside of Corona, HIV is always present. You understand? So it comes like good yin and yang, God and the devil. You understand? Both will always be present.
So my question is, based on that information, do you think, and the fact that the health centers and the services will not stop, do you think that persons are still coming out to be tested, or it should be done? What are the numbers looking like?
You see, because how things are, they don't want so much congregations in the health centers like before and putting the citizens at risk. People tend to draw back from going to places where it's very congested with human traffic, right? So the services are still there. The emphasis is the coronavirus, yes, but the health, the Ministry of Health and the regional health authorities still come and get tested, because that's why persons like me will still go out to the health centers. We'll still do online classes with schools who allow us to come and go into their Zoom classes, and we still do that effort. But the thing about it is we become complacent because we're so fixated on one thing that other things just slip by. So yes, we focus on Corona, but we still want to have sex, and we just don't want to have regular sex. We want out of the world sex. And now we already had CARICOM nationals coming and staying. Now we have non-nationals coming and staying. And I know every Trinidadian male want a non-national. Right? And they fail to realize that yes, the world is battling a pandemic, but HIV is still an epidemic. So in every country, HIV is present, just the same way coronavirus is right now. So if you look at the numbers in Trinidad, we have just over between 28 to 30,000 persons infected according to the National Surveillance Unit. Then now, right across in Venezuela, according to their National Surveillance Unit, there's 100,000 Venezuelans infected. And every month, every day, I don't know what's the exact number, but like 300 to 400 persons try to make it to our shores. And then when they come, they don't just come because they're in the health centers making babies. And who they making babies for? Nationals, right? It's not just the men who get in the women, but the Trinidadian women get in the men too. Everybody learning Spanish now. So within the next 5 years, my sons and them would be speaking fluent Spanish. You understand? Up to this weekend, I was teaching my son uno, dos, because that's as fast as I could go with Spanish. Right? Right? So we have that happening. So then our sexual script or our sexual paradigm in Trinidad and Tobago is changing, because in Latin America, we have she-males. That's a big thing in Latin America. Venezuela is a part of Latin America. So they're going to be coming across. So it means that men who probably thought they was not...
We understand what you're trying to say.
No, because I try to be politically correct. Right? Men who thought they was not into them thing, now they into them thing. Then we have the whole situation where crime increased, right, significantly, because where there's the absence of focus attention for young men in Trinidad and Tobago, for them to figure out what it is they want to do, they tend to gravitate towards the easiest thing to do and think that crime will always pay. But at the end of the day, they go, they commit the crime, they get arrested, they end up in jail. They go in jail HIV negative
and come back
positive. And who they come in to sleep with? Not me.
Well, after you trying to put on that kind of intense workout with mango tree fit, ain't nobody coming to check you. But one of the things that I want to highlight though, is I do appreciate the fact that the conversation has taken us somewhere serious for 3 reasons. One, health is a factor in the pandemic. Obesity rates have increased because people are home, children are home, they're hungry every hour, right?
Well, it's not that they're hungry every hour, they have nothing to do, and you wouldn't believe, when in a resting state, you want to eat more.
Right. 2, you highlighted the awareness with HIV and AIDS, and the reality of the situation is, as much as we're getting tested for corona, if it is you have the symptoms, you should be tested for HIV and AIDS if it is you are sexually active still during quarantine.
So make sure they understand what you just said. If you have the symptoms for coronavirus,
you get
one,
tested
guess
for
what?
that.
If you're sexually active and having multiple sex partners without a condom, get tested for HIV.
HIV/AIDS, because both things are, one is a pandemic, one is
an
an epidemic.
But both are viruses.
Correct, and both of them are real to us in Trinidad and Tobago, which brings us to the third thing. Because of the immigration issues, you have we are at a higher risk to get both corona and HIV.
And then what people don't realize is different regions around the world have different strains of HIV.
Right.
So there's two types of HIV. There's HIV-1 and then there's HIV-2. Of HIV-1, there are 10 different types. Of HIV-2, there are 5 different types. So we have to understand that if I come and I'm Sheldon Mason get HIV in Trinidad and Tobago, then they have to find out which HIV I have. In the Caribbean, we have HIV-1. Right? And Latin America, we have HIV-1. But which strain of HIV-1 do I have? Do I have 1? Do I have 5? Do I have 6? Do I have 10? That's what they have to find out. You following? And that will then determine how they treat with me in terms of medication and treatment and care offered for free by the Ministry of Health for every national and non-national that comes to our shores. So it then further puts a burden on the economy. You follow it?
Yeah, to have to provide medical support.
Just for HIV. We even talking corona now, because we don't know corona is a multi-million-dollar business right now. So outside of corona, what the government have to spend to vaccinate everyone. Let's just take a look at just providing HIV medication for the some 11,000 plus persons on medication. It costs, I just give you rough figures, $500 US for one person per month to stay on meds. And we have over 28 to 30,000 people infected.
Wow. The numbers don't lie, and I guess the conversation is important because now it's highlighting other things that are still current and necessary in the country. So thank you very much for...
Not a problem, that's what I'm here for.
For that conversation. We're going to take it to question time now.
Oh, well, yeah, you know, well, I came for the interview, so let's see what the questions have. I watched your program and it has some real insightful questions, and I just, you know.
Well, you find insightful. I'm really starting to feel all kind of feelings, because it's like, you know, I am not Derek Jackson. I do not have the answers to all of these different things that you people keep asking.
These people know who Derek Jackson is.
Well, I'm sure everybody know who Derek Jackson is except you. You understand? That's just the truth about the situation. Listen, Sister Prez.
Oh, Lord.
Question 1. My boyfriend smokes a lot, and I'm worried about his health addiction. How can I discuss it without him thinking that I am being too controlling? Tell him.
No, firstly, no, you have to break down the question, right? You say, how can I tell him without him thinking that I'm being too controlling? So it means that you're already controlling. That's what it means. In my mind, because if you had to say it without being controlling, then you're controlling. You follow it? But because you care about him, you have to simply leave pamphlets around the house. You go to NADAP, National Drug and
Listen,
and you leave
If it is you come in my house if I come home and I see pamphlets from my house, first thing I think there's not my house. This had to be a hospital.
No,
you understand?
Little pamphlets. He's smoking, and right now, let me tell you something. In Trinidad, people, weed is technically legal.
Right.
It's technically legal. Right. So people real smoking weed now. Right. They smoking weed, they making hash brownies, they loving themselves in Trinidad and Tobago. Now we have to understand that addiction comes in variant forms. People are addicted to sex, people are addicted to Coke. When I mean Coca-Cola soft drink, people are addicted to aspirin, Panadol, people are addicted to gossip. Oh Lord, they can't help. What's now? It's like they're walking down the road and they hear somebody's business and it's like, and then they go and gossip. They don't know nothing, you know? Just a piece of a story and they run with it.
I just call it the neighbor syndrome.
Right? People are addicted to different things. So what you have to do is you have to start to talk to them about addiction and the consequences of any addiction, because any addiction is bad.
But how do you bring that in the form of you're in a relationship with somebody who does it a lot, and you're saying that you're worried about their health addiction and you're not sure if to say something because you control it? Because I'm thinking, are you an expert to determine that what the person doing is an addiction in the first place?
Well, if they're always doing it.
No, but...
People could say I'm addicted to fitness.
But is addiction and habit the same thing?
But then, it's a blurred line.
Right, it's a blurred line, because I know that addiction and habit is the same thing. And if it is...
But then you have to think about what kind of habit do they have. Do they have positive forming habits or negative forming habits?
Okay.
And then is what they do in associated a negative forming habit that can develop into a later addiction.
True.
These are the things that we have to then trash out. So then she's concerned about her boyfriend smoking a lot of weed. I had a lot of females who talk about, yeah, my boyfriend finds smoking real weed now. Then we have to come and show them now, okay, you don't want to leave too much pamphlets, find one about smoking and erectile dysfunction.
So your whole fix to it is bring it home to somewhere
no
that it will
man want to
affect
know his penis not working, brother. In no form or fashion. Anything that is going to contribute to this malfunctioning.
Do you think that is true? I don't think that's true. A man with too much children want to have malfunctioning problems.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because he should have stopped at 3.
You understand? No, because I thinking if it is he know he can't stop and he want what he want. You understand? You want what you want with all the consequences of having the extra burden of having a child. You understand? Saying it, and you wouldn't go to the store to get you're supposed to get a vasectomy. You understand?
Yeah, but even for me, if a man have too many children, and if it's not with one woman, you need to get HIV test.
All right then. Second question.
I'm fed up seeing you do this in the previous interviews, and I'm afraid this question now.
Is there a difference between a threesome and a train? I'm not answering this. Take it away. I'm absolutely not answering this.
Why?
There
this
is
conversation. Hey,
you know what?
wouldn't believe I was debating this 2 days ago. Swear to God.
The answer is yes.
Yes. The difference is a threesome is where three consent.
They ask if there's a difference and the answer is yes or no. We ain't going to explain.
Why not?
I am not explaining
All
why.
right, people.
It is a different...
Listen,
a difference?
A threesome is 3 people and a train have multiple carriages.
Choo-choo. Right? Next question. My partner isn't satisfying me sexually. The blood
of Christ constrain at you.
My partner isn't satisfying sexually. Should I tell him or her and risk him or her feelings, or pretend to enjoy them and satisfy myself after?
You see that question? It's so layered that thing. It's like I'm going to literally put up a PowerPoint to discuss that particular question. Now, the last part of the question is, should she pretend and then satisfy herself after? Yeah. This goes back to addiction, because she could be, or him, could be addicted to masturbation, which is associated to porn addiction. That's 1. 2, they probably had multiple partners before this relationship, and their mind, what they had before was better than what they have now. Because people, when we go into new relationships, we never rid ourselves of the old one. We never get down on our knees, figuratively, and weed them out. Because you always had that one person, oh God, I can't be around that person, because the Lord knows if I only sit there 2-3 minutes, it's all over. You then go down in your mind and weed them out and literally sort through the feelings, so that when you close that chapter in your life, it's over. But if you keep going into other relationships thinking about how good sex was in this past toxic relationship, because the only reason you was in that toxic relationship to begin with was either the penis was good or the vagina was golden. So
really?
Yeah.
No, maybe it was abuse. Could be different reasons that you was in a relationship and you don't know how to say no or how to leave. Some people don't know how to say no or how to leave. My thing is, do you like macaroni pie? Yes. If it is your mother cook macaroni pie, you like it? Yes. If it is your wife cook macaroni pie, you like it? Yes. If it is you go buy a friend and they cook it, would you like it? Yes. But if it is you go somewhere else a store and buy, you may not like it. It's the same macaroni pie.
Or a healthy discussion have to be had about how can you make the macaroni pie that I like.
How about that?
So you need to discuss that with your partner. Say, hey, babes, see, I ain't trying to pop you down in no kind of way, but you know, I know the thing people always feel, especially, I feel as a woman.
I feel as a woman.
I feel as a woman.
It in my spirit.
I feel it in my spirit as a woman, right? But women always feel that a man knows how to please her. I love communication.
How about that?
Talk to me, tell me, because I can't come by you thinking that what I did Susie 5 years ago, going and work on you 5 years later.
Correct, and I think the person deserves an opportunity to correct it, and they can't fix a problem they don't know is there. So how about you say, hey, this is not working, I don't like it this way, and if it's not working, you know, then you have another conversation, because if it's not working and you need to be satisfied, because we all deserve to be satisfied, he's opening up an opportunity for somebody else to do the satisfying
for you.
Even though in your message you said
Dexter Daps.
Well, even when your message you said that, you know, should you just satisfy yourself after, and that is still a broad thing, because satisfy yourself don't have to be masturbation. It could be getting an external person.
It could be Dexter Daps.
You understand?
But we just say communication in everything is key to a successful relationship. And what I would have learned, especially in my field of work and even just being a trainer, right? People fail to communicate effectively, and these are real things. People fail to communicate effectively, thus putting a strain on the relationship, and people realize that for the last was 2020, right? So 5 years prior to 2020 and this relationship, everything going good, but the communication wasn't there. But we was going to work, we was working, we was staying. Now we were forced into each other's space from working at home. That I realized that this is not making sense. So when I could have fake it and wing it, right, and go to work to my work husband or my work wife. Yeah, that's what people are saying. No, you can't. And then you realize that you wasted time. So before you get into any relationship that is sexual, I think everybody should work on the communication skills first.
I think it needs to be worked on from as early as teenagers.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we wait too long to address communication is,
But communication skills come from a deep-rooted things from what happened inherently in your childhood, from parenting and all these different things. So you have to know yourself. And here's the thing about this, without proper communication skills, there comes no proper negotiation skills. And then you just communicating based on the consensus, because you know Trinidad is a popular system. We go on what is popular at the time, right? And then you end up in relationships that puts you at risk right back to HIV. Right.
And I also think with that, communication is never absent of comprehension. Because a lot of times you have on one side people who don't talk and they never know how your partner thinking, what they feeling. But then you have somebody who talks, but you don't understand what they mean.
What they say, they don't know how to break it down to you. And these things put us at risk of HIV, coronavirus, because when you don't have proper communication, you're running outside. And outside now you can communicate with somebody, because here's the thing, you're not tethered to them. Right? To the other person you're tethered to, you have emotional ties there, you have financial or situational ties, marriage, children, home, whatever it is. But to the other person you don't. So it's easier. And then sometimes the person home, you want to communicate with them. They know that you are trying to communicate, and because they have whatever unresolved issue, choose not to reciprocate what you're trying.
Agreed.
So it's a real complicated scenario right now in Trinidad and Tobago, but people have to take initiative for themselves and take account of themselves and make things better, because HIV isn't going anywhere. Corona definitely isn't going anywhere. Obesity, well boy, Just now we might have a food shortage, so I think that might go somewhere.
And I think in the close, the whole thing is, because of all of those things in our address, choose your risk. Choose what you're willing to risk. That's what it's coming down to.
Yeah. I mean, life is so full and so awesome, even now within Corona, that I have seen people start businesses, lost their jobs, and literally refocus their thinking and their mind and achieve so much during the COVID times. However, other people just defeated and just sit down and waiting for somebody to give them a handout. But life is not about handouts, it's about getting up and opening the doors for yourself that need to be open and not putting yourself at risk. For my final words, I would say sex is a beautiful thing designed by God to share between husband and wife. However, we have moved outside of that context. We have moved so far outside of that context that sex is not shared between man and woman anymore. It's shared between two beings who appreciate and love each other. Because if God is love, who am I to tell you that the man that you see and like, that you don't love him if you are a man? And if you are a woman, the woman that you see and love, who am I to tell you that you do? God is the final judge. Easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to see the gates of heaven. And with that, Trinidad and Tobago, get tested not only for Corona, but for HIV. Don't put yourself unnecessarily at risk. And if you're thinking about fitness, hey, Mango-Tree Fitness, right in Shogunas. Hey.
And with that, folks, thank you for watching another episode of Kaption That. We will see you next time. Peace out, and
she said she would like to be free.
Call me, yeah, the little man not good. Better you somebody else. Call me, yeah, can I say the boy need it? Like can I say you